好鬼煩而家 YouTube， 哇，好正常㗎而家。跟住又到 Ubisoft 嘅問題啦，我唔知點解撈唔到入去。OK， 越嚟越多奇怪嘅事發生。到底要睇幾耐呢 ？Discovery Tour 都 OK 嘅，係個雅典衛城長啲咯，其他唔係好長。13分鐘。
Welcome to Corinth, Wanderer. I have a special visit planned for you today.
Corinth,
it's an intimate, informative look into the daily lives of Greek women. It's amazing what women could accomplish while men spent all day trying to out-debate each other at assembly meetings. Their work should be far more appreciated on the whole, but we're going to acknowledge that now. Corinth was one of the largest cities in ancient Greece. It had an estimated population of 90,000 in my times, and much of that population was made up of women. This tour will shine a light on those women and look at how they lived on a day-to-day basis. Look for me when you're done with your visit, and we can discuss things further.
我唔知點解個角色冇對話咧，但係都要燒埋佢。冇對話就唔使燒埋佢啦。
Young girls growing up in ancient Greek cities were usually raised by a nurse. They mostly stayed in the women's quarters of the house, the gunaikon, where they spent their time spinning threads and weaving. While there is not much historical evidence of young girls at play, especially compared to boys, it was still known to happen. For example, an ancient terracotta group depicts two girls playing ephedrismos. This was a competition to see who could strike an upright rock from afar using a pebble or ball. The game's loser had to close their eyes and carry the victor until they managed to touch the same rock with their hands.
啲遊戲都係鍛鍊體魄為主嘅。Isthmus 係咩咧？地峽即係一個相對窄嘅陸地。 咩嚟嘅呢嚿嘢？哦，原來係用嚟切木嘅，幾有趣喎！點解要打直線咧？唔可以同佢哋講嘢。我覺得冇乜可能請起佢咯，咁有嗰條木。其實應該玩個 main game 嘅時候都見到呢堆，都見到呢啲人做咩嘅，只不過係冇留意。等等。
For a young Greek woman, marriage was the culmination of their induction into society. The average life expectancy for women was about 40 years, so most marriages took place when the bride was 14 or 15 years old. The marriage did not require her consent either. Instead, she was passed on from the protection of her father to that of her husband. Married women were not technically citizens at the time and lacked the rights that came with official citizenship. However, they did receive a dowry that only they were allowed to spend, but in the event of a failed marriage, the dowry was returned to the bride's father. After the marriage was consummated, the woman's status changed from being a maiden to a bride. She remained a bride until the birth of her first child, wherein she officially became a woman.
都係好父權主義啊，希臘。 即係一對父母就一間屋，就唔似中國咁樣幾廿人住埋一齊。They were occasionally abandoned and left to die， 可以咁做，咁唔算殺人。可以24小時咁樣湊住佢。Reserved for boys and young men。咁Alicia係點樣成為一個咁有權力嘅女人嘅？係咯。Rich families could hire tutors to teach their daughters skills like reading. This is not the norm. OK， 幾得意喎個公仔，用泥土做，用鐵絲連起啲手腳。啲吸身座一定要戴住個頭套。Jason and Media。呢個係神話嚟嘅，前470至前460。咁過分？點解係要殺佢啲仔女啊？ 咁係咪殺佢自己？OK。Tragedy。Region objectives 2 tours。近排玩 GTA 搞到我啲掣都成日撳錯。4 discovery sites 有。我去完啲 tour 先揾。可以 teleport 嘅，咁多 discovery sites 嘅，仲要做埋嗰啲嘢。76係講雅典，其他地區唔係好多嘅，嚇 Q 死我！每個地方都有幾廿個嘅話，會死人。
Women living in ancient Greek cities were essentially forbidden from participating in political life, and most aspects of their lives were controlled by men. Their most important responsibilities were running the household and giving birth to children, preferably boys. Most of the time, women's excursions outside of the house were limited to visiting other female neighbors, as per custom. The few exceptions to this strict rule were weddings, funerals, and religious festivals involving women in prominent public roles.
真係都係收埋喺啲，都係收埋喺屋企嘅啲女人。全職主婦咧，全部都係。OK， 真係裁縫係高級過主食少少嘅，而家。Too many slaves， 係咪真係窮嘅家庭係都有奴隸，可能就少啲。啲社會階級嘅事，即係我諗女人咧，雖然做老婆嗰個都會高級過啲奴隸少少嘅，奴隸就冇得講啦。
Making textiles was the main occupation of most Greek women. It was a woman's responsibility to manufacture clothing for each of her family members, as well as to weave other household textiles. Women with exceptional weaving skills were believed to make excellent wives, and weaving in general was seen as a very attractive quality. For
OK，
example, Homer describes Odysseus's devoted wife Penelope as spending most of her days weaving at the loom. Similarly, many Greek vases depicting women weaving were combined with images of a woman holding a veil, which was seen as the symbol of a bride.
啊咁着咩衫呢啲咁貼身嘅嘢咧？一嚟係貼身啦，二嚟就係要 representable 啦。咁係由呢個老婆主宰嘅。我有啲好奇嗰陣，嗰啲機器係點做？開業因為卡亦係一個希臘嘅時期嚟嘅喎，我估唔到係專有名詞呢個字。古風時期前800年至前480年，不過呢個字係出現喺18世紀嘅。打水好重要啊！咁當然係唔會每戶都有水盒啦。始終都係好驚個老婆喺出面有其他男人。
Ancient Greek women cooked in their house's kitchen area. However, since their cooking equipment was small and portable, they also sometimes prepared meals in the central courtyard. This was also where women performed other domestic activities. These activities were rarely seen by visiting men or passers-by, because the architecture of classical Greek houses facilitated the social norm that women should never be seen at work. The historian Strabo relays that the Temple of Aphrodite was one of Corinth's most famous landmarks. This was largely due to the temple's female patrons. These hetairai, as they were called, were donated to the goddess by both men and women. According to Strabo, the Temple of Aphrodite contributed greatly to Corinth's wealth. The hetairai were the temple's main attraction, and many visitors came to Corinth in search of their company, for which they spent frequently and frivolously.
咁咪妓女嚟嘅其實，咁靚嘅呢幅畫。Concept art，OK，係會被soft整嘅。我就諗緊嘅風格都唔係好似啲 classical 嘅嘢。真係估唔到古希臘都係用呢種髮型，都係長髮打個髻。2016就已經整最早期嗰啲 concept art 其他嘢，因為賣酒嘅嗰啲。
Hello again, Wanderer. I hope your visit was an interesting one. Greek women lived very restricted lives compared to men, but throughout it all, they held on to their strength and dignity. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Feeling up for a test? Excellent. Let's begin with an easier question. What was the name of the women's quarters in a Greek home? Correct. The gynekon was where young girls spent their days weaving and spinning threads. On to the next question. The Corinthian temple said to employ the Hetera was dedicated to which god? Correct. Aphrodite was the goddess of love and passion, so it's only fitting her temple served such an amorous purpose. We're almost done. Just one more question. What was the name of Odysseus' wife? Yes, Penelope was Odysseus' loyal wife, who kept at her weaving while waiting for her husband to return from war. You passed the test, Wanderer. Congratulations. Of course! Let's see what Greece has in store for you.
都係 Corinthia Agolis 呢個係咩地方？Bronze in Argos, OK。25分鐘，我之前好似搞咗40幾分鐘。個咩地方啊？我係。未去過嘅 tour 好似唔會顯示咁色出嚟，奇怪。對呢個希羅多德。OK， 銀色就係未去嘅。
Welcome to Argos, traveler. My name is Herodotus, and I am a traveler from Halicarnassus. I retrace the cause of various events, such as wars and great calamities. I describe what I see and record what I'm told, all with the aim of providing a better understanding of why these things occur. Look for me to introduce you to many sites. I have always admired the dedication of Greek metalworkers. Without them, we would not have the inspiring monuments that stir the hearts of Greek citizens everywhere.
OK， 嗱，哥嚟係整雕塑。
This is Argos, one of the oldest cities in Greece. The Argives were an ingenious people, famous for innovations in areas like military tactics. However, what they were most renowned for was their metallurgic artistry, especially with bronze. I hope you enjoy yourself. Look for me at the end of your visit.
呢啲唔講啊，真係唔知啊！即係你玩個遊主，你玩個主線故事都唔會知。
I will see you again soon, traveler.
到底邊個城市係出名啲乜嘢？
The area that would become Argos was inhabited as early as the 3rd millennium BCE, but it was in the 7th century BCE that it officially became a city-state.
都幾似
One
喎，
of
其實。
Argos's major pillars was its metallurgical industry. As far back as the 8th century BCE, the city was famed for making products like long dress pins and tripod cauldrons, as well as impeccable body armor. In addition to their technical excellence, the Argives were also creative, as seen in their masterful bronze sculpting, which became prominent in the city during the 6th and 5th century BCE.
我都唔知佢哋喺邊度揾到咁多銅出嚟。其實地球表面係咪好多金屬嘅咧？即係當然去到現代已經大部分俾人掘晒，所以你先唔會見到成地都係金屬。可能係咁，即係可能以前個地球表面咧係好多金屬嘅，係就咁攤晒喺地下上面。我到而家真係好好奇啲金屬到底係點嚟？係以噸計嘅嗰啲金屬。但係你無論喺城市啦，或城市就當然冇啦，個地下已經鋪晒水泥，或者鋪晒磚。但係你去郊外都唔會見到地下有任何接近金屬嘅嘢㗎，最多係石嘅啫。嗨住啊！我要記一記嗰啲名。好多時都係呢個 metropolitan， 好多時都係呢個 metropolitan Museum。 比較容易揾嘅嗰啲相片應該。啊點解？但係點解唔去希臘嗰啲博物館度揾呢？
Bronze is an alloy composed of 90% copper and 10% tin. Because of this, copper and tin needed to be smelted and combined to create the material needed for sculpting. After the bronze alloy was formed, it was melted in special furnaces. They required a tremendous amount of fuel and were usually supplied with charcoal made from specific types of wood. It's possible they were also coated with a protective lining of clay, which would have been sensible given the melting point of bronze is approximately 950 degrees Celsius. Once the bronze was melted and collected, the furnaces were dismantled and dumped.
真係用一次嘅啫，每次都係。咁係好貴嘅應該。Dismantled。咁係用泥整嘅啫，係要花啲功夫咯。因為咁大個壺都係要燒出嚟。
Bronze is an alloy composed of 90.
你又知係 non-functional。其實青銅喺氧化之前呢，就係金色嘅，氧化完之後就綠色啦，好似而家自由神像咁樣，原本係金色。都好好奇點解係自由神像會唔會整翻做金色？不過大部分人都接受咗佢係綠色㗎啦。始終現代咧就其實唔係太中意金色呢個顏色先，即係金色俾人有一種，即係通常都係聯想到錢咯。如果係金色嘅嘢，咁就唔會聯想到其他嘅概念啦。即係自由神像咁，當然係講自由同埋算啦，我哋費事講咁多嘢。146 BC。咁都唔係 Cassandra 嗰個時代㗎咯，同埋都就嚟完啦。Alexander the Great 係公元前330年啊嘛，冇記錯的話，咁已經過咗 Alexander the Great。真係奇怪。
In the 8th century BCE, most small-scale statues were molded using a complicated and lengthy method called solid lost wax casting. From the 7th century BCE onwards, metalworkers adopted the more efficient, hollow lost wax casting. At its core, this process involved using sculpting models from wax, making molds over these models, then filling the molds with bronze to produce the desired shapes. The process was advantageous because it saved on materials, produced lighter statues, and reduced the chance of possible defects.
呢啲銅應該都係空心，呢啲銅像又真係幾精細喎，佢哋整得，你啲頭髮嘅形狀都有。即係我覺得喺古代咧，雕塑先係真正，即係佢哋想做到像真嘅嘢咯。如果係畫，係一啲平面畫出嚟嘅嘢咧，就通常都係比較係符號同埋象徵比較符號同象徵元素比較多喺平面上面。嗱，雕塑咧就係可以整得非常非常真。即係我一直都覺得其實呢個美術角度嚟講，其實非常遠古嘅人都已經有能力做到幾可亂真嘅藝術出嚟，不過係多數用雕塑形式嚟表現。咁當然啦，顏料嘅進步係比較近代先有嘅，即係始終以前係冇咁多顏色可以用，亦都即係冇咁多顏色你就做唔到啲陰影效果等等。
Τι βούλη άρχεστε, ο άνθρωπε.
Once all the pieces of the sculpture were molded, they were welded together and subjected to the cold working process. This process involved repairing the sculpture's flaws by filling any holes and cracks with specifically measured bronze patches. Afterwards, the sculpture was scraped, chiseled, and polished until it was deemed satisfactory. Decorative details like hair, eyebrows, and mustaches were added with the use of a sharp tool. Eyes, which could be inset with ivory, glass, or silver, were attached to their sockets using a resinous kind of glue. Teeth and fingernails were inlaid with silver, and lips and nipples with copper. These small touches added color and contributed to the sculpture's lifelike appearance.
咁好似到中世紀同埋近代嗰啲青銅雕像就唔係咁整嘅，通常都係一件事，通常就全個都係青銅，同埋佢哋會唔會有顏色嘅？如果用啲咁高級嘅金屬，咁就唔會有啲顏色上表面。 Odyssey 係喺邊嘅？喺意大利嘅喎。OK， 反而就唔係希臘啊呢啲嘢。不過意大利喺希臘時期就係希臘嘅殖民地嚟嘅。丟緊個性器官。OK。其實冇鬚嘅男人係咪？係咪真係表示佢係比較年輕嘅？不過我諗同現代一樣，其實有鬚同冇鬚係個人嘅 preference 嚟。
Bronze sculptures have a long and varied history in Greece. During the geometric period of 900 to 700 BCE, the sculptures mainly depicted idealized heroes, charioteers, and horses, and most of them were dedicated to sanctuaries. The Orientalizing period followed in the 7th century BCE. During this time, Greeks began adopting sculpting techniques from the East, and the depicted statues expanded to include mythological creatures like griffins and sphinxes. The Archaic period saw statues that reflected a better understanding of human anatomy, which eventually culminated in the realistic and powerful human sculptures of the Hellenistic period.
咦？呢個真係希臘時期整。其實我有啲我有一段時期係懷疑，其實呢啲咁像真嘅雕塑係文藝復興時期先整出嚟，唔係希臘羅馬時期整嘅。但係其實係希臘羅馬時期都整到啲咁像真嘅雕像出嚟。呢個係460 BCE。個 patina 就係同周圍啲泥土有關嘅嚇，呢個成個黑色。點解希臘人咁中意整啲裸體嘅雕塑出嚟？可能係木做嘅喎，佢其他裝飾。我突然間諗起會唔會其實係直接放啲衫喺個雕塑上面咧？我覺得有可能係可以換衫。